is going on, Gemini? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct. This is going to be your reading for the month of August. And Gemini, I am kind of late on your reading, definitely. Hopefully you guys got that update on the post that I left on YouTube about the readings being a little bit later because I was traveling. But Gemini, you are up to the plate, so we're going to hop into your reading and see what's happening. This is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone. If it does resonate with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment on the channel. If it does not resonate, then check out your rising or moon sign or one of the previous readings that I did for Gemini. All right, we're going to be hopping into your present energy right here, Gemini, like we always do it. And this is also your main storyline, right? After that, we are going to hop into your futuristic supporting details on the left. And then I do have a fairy card for you guys, all right? So let's do this. Now, Gemini, I do want to say this is like your second reading that I did, because I did one before this earlier in the day, but I just felt like the energies just were not matching where you guys are. The message was pretty good, but the energy was not there. Sometimes the energy is more important than the message. So let's try this again, Gemini. All right. Crowning your reading, we have the 8 of Pentacles clarified by the 10 of Pentacles. So I do feel like there's something that you guys have been working on maybe for a while now, or maybe in some type of career field or job or anything like that, where you have been kind of building a little bit. And very consistent, very determined, very persistent is what I'm feeling at building something for the long term, building something for the future. Your energy, your focus has been there. If it has not, then in the month of August, this is where you're at. You're working, focused on building something for the future, longevity, long term. And whatever you are working on and focusing on, putting your energy into, is about to be almost like multiplied, it feels like, into the 10 of Pentacles here. So this talks about a level of abundance that you've been working on a little bit, putting a lot of energy into, putting a lot of your focus on, and it coming to a place where your hard work is now about to start paying off, right? So whatever you have been consistent with in building up to this point, it's kind of like you're going to get a double or quadruple effect on this project or job or career or whatever you've been doing financially to build for your future. Is about to double up in the month of August. Now, with the 8 being here, I do connect this with that Lion's Gate portal that's coming in today, 8-8, right? And it's kind of like on the other side of this portal for you is multiplication when it comes down to funds, abundance, right? Getting that completion energy, where you're kind of about to start coming into a place where you're set, some of you guys, financially, with this 8 of Pentacles multiplying into the 10, because the 8 is the work you put on or you put into something to get it into a place where it starts to work for itself with the 10 of Pentacles. And so whatever you're building is coming to a place where it's going to start working for itself, where you're really seeing the fruits of your labor. You're seeing the perks that are coming in because you're doing this work and you're pouring yourself into this labor. This determination that you have is now starting to pay off, even if it wasn't paying off before. But I do feel like you got very caught up into the work. You enjoy whatever it is that you're doing and you're building, or you're so you get lost in it, is what I see. You're just focused, and nothing else that happens around you really seems to matter. And because you have kind of lost yourself so much into this type of work, you just are now starting to reap some benefits that you're kind of surprised when they come through. Like, oh, okay, that's here. That happened already. Like, I already got to this point. Like, now I'm being promoted, or now, I get this bonus that comes in, or now this promotion is here. Like I said, I think I repeated promotion, but something is kind of like coming because of the hard work that you have been doing. And it's something that you kind of envisioned when you started to do this type of work, that's kind of like coming into full view or into your reality now. And now it's here, and you're like almost surprised, like, oh, wow. And I do feel like you're going to have to pause for a second. Like, this is, like, what? Are you sure? You sure it's me? Is what you're kind of saying to somebody else. But yeah, abundance has found you, Gemini. Now below that, I do feel like this could be bringing you into a place where you're kind of allowed to rest a little bit, maybe from the work that you've been doing, because with the Four of Swords being right below the Eight of Pentacles, you've been working, and maybe now you're choosing to take a break, or maybe you have the amount of money that you need to take a break or go on a vacation, or go somewhere that you've wanted to go for a while. So you could just be resting, or you have already been in a place maybe where you've been resting for some of you other Geminis, and this is the place where you're kind of tapping into some of your inner strengths or abilities. Yeah, for some of you guys, I feel like you've already been in a place of rest, maybe in a certain type of way, even though you've been working. But for other half of you guys, you're coming into this rest that you can kind of rest from your labor a little bit, and because you've leveled up in some type of ways. So the Strength card is here talking about that level up, that you're getting and you have tapped into, that's allowing you to just relax a little bit. You can lay back, rejuvenate a little bit, because you've uncovered some of these hidden talents, abilities that you have, or you've built such a strong type of empire or kind of fortitude or protection for yourself with this Strength card. But I'm feeling a little bit more here, Four of Swords. Let me see what else I'm feeling for you guys. Yeah, some of you guys could just be wanting to take a break a little bit. And while you're taking this break, or when you go on this vacation, you're taking the time to kind of re-see something, right? You're wanting to revamp something or reposition yourself, or your restoration or rejuvenation is making you kind of, your gears are starting to turn in your mind about what you want for yourself in the future. Maybe this is what I see. It's kind of like contemplative thinking. You're thinking about something and you're planning while you're resting up. Right? So yeah, for some of you guys, it's almost like you've been hard at work, working. You get some type of reward or bonus that comes through because of all the work that you've been doing. And this bonus allows you to go maybe on a vacation or take a rest, take some days off. Maybe you get some PTO time, whatever it is. And during this resting, you're leveling up. And it's almost like this was divinely put into place so you could level up in this type of way internally. You're tapping into some of your hidden strengths that you have while you're resting, because sometimes we can be very, very focused, working, and not, like I was talking about before, not even understand how much we have leveled up. And this is what I feel is happening with you guys. Like you have to take the time to stop just to see all these things that you have accumulated, even within yourself. So you're taking the time. Then we have the Moon card over here, clarified by the High Priestess. So the Moon energy is like, now this is what I was feeling in your other reading, and some of the same energy is still here, with maybe some type of cloudiness that you have concerning a certain direction in your life about moving forward. There could be like a feeling a little bit lost with moving forward, or just how specifically to move forward on your path in life itself, or maybe an area of your life you don't have the most clarity in that area of life, and it maybe does not make any sense logically. And so you're choosing to kind of tap into your intuition in order to see through this path in this area of your life that's kind of cloudy, where it just doesn't add up. Maybe in one area of your life, everything is adding up, everything is moving forward, it's going as planned. The amount of work you put into it, it just multiplies and you are able to continue to grow. But then you could have another area of your life where it's just like, okay, there's no growth that's happening, even though I put work into it, or this 1 + 1 is not equaling 2, right? And so it's kind of like a bit of darkness on this maybe area or somewhere in your life where you're going to need or have to tap into your intuition, your intuitive nature. And I do feel like during this time, there's a certain intuitive part about yourself that's waking up, or that you're waking up to, that was kind of there all along. But you could be choosing to kind of like just wake up to it now. And it's kind of like I almost felt like these dogs or these wolves kind of like howling. And it's almost like for you, it could be happening in your sleep, or it could be happening, even around the full moon that's coming up in Aquarius, where it's like you're tapping into a deeper level of your intuition. I almost feel like that werewolf thing that's happening for you guys, where it's like you just awaken to it, or it comes and sneaks up on you, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can see some things that I didn't see before. So I usually see the High Priestess that's matching this moon card, like your night vision goggles, right? Now, for other people, I do feel like you're in a place now where your success is going to depend on your ability to see through the dark, or see things that nobody else can see. And this is how you're going to kind of like double up or be promoted or elevate, because you're able to intuitively pick up on hunches that other people maybe can't see. Or you're able to see behind the lines, in between the lines, right? Where people are talking or saying certain things that logically mean one thing, but intuitively you pick it up to be something else. And that's what I do feel with some of you guys, especially if it's having to do with that area of your life I was saying was kind of clouded a little bit, right? Or your judgment was kind of clouded because you can't see logically what's happening, but intuitively you can read behind the lines. And so you're tapping into this like other field of perception in the month of August, seeing behind, or seeing the nuances, or the double entendres, right? The double meanings. Yeah. For some of you guys, you really understand double talk, or the concept of double talk very well, like when one person says one thing but they mean something else. And I do feel like you're becoming privy in the month of August to this kind of, what is the word and what is the message? It's coming, Gemini, but to this type of codex, this kind of like code speaking that's being said in your environment, or maybe in life itself. It's a type of beneath the surface is what I'm picking up. I can't get the words out, but I see what you're seeing. Almost like Morse code, right? You're able to pick up on it some type of way, and it's helping you out in your everyday life, in your career, in your love life, in a lot of different areas. You're just seeing behind what the logical meaning of things are. That's what I'm seeing. All right. One sec. Okay, so with this newfound intuition that comes in, this does bring you out of a place of almost being stuck in your head, or being too logical, or overthinking some things. This was the message that was coming through your first reading. Like you were in a place of being maybe too logical, or maybe looking at things from a very realist type of perspective, but not combining it with the intuitive type of perspective. And this is what's kind of coming in for you, is the intuition very strongly, to where some things you were kind of lost on because it couldn't be understood logically. Now you see and understand it more well because your intuition is kicking in. right? It's almost like some of the problems that you couldn't solve on a logical level because it didn't make sense logically is now able to be solved because you're choosing to solve it on a different level, which is an intuitive level. And it's almost like that Einstein, um, the thing that Einstein said where he said like, some problems can't be solved on the same levels that they were created. They have to be solved on a different level. And this is what's happening. So the Eight of Swords here, clarified by the Six of Swords, you're moving away from this type of maybe thinking or only looking at things logically, right? And moving away into a different way of viewing it, maybe where it's logic mixed with intuition. And choosing to come out of kind of being stuck in a certain place where you felt like you had a blindfold on, right? The Moon card, only because maybe you are not consulting your intuitive mind, right? You are only consulting the logical mind. So yeah, there is a moving away from this type of one-sidedness or tunnel vision into a more expansive, broader view with the High Priestess. All right, then we have the Wheel of Fortune clarified by the Four of Swords. So yeah, this is this shift that's happening, right, that I was talking about even over here when you have the same thing, the Four of Swords. So there's a kind of shift in time that's happening that's bringing you into a more relaxed phase, the more downtime energy where you're kind of rejuvenating, restoring yourself, even having a shift in the way that you're thinking and viewing the world. But this is an opening that's happening with the Wheel of Fortune of purpose and destiny and divine timing. But it is bringing you into a place where you can relax a little bit, because I feel like, Gemini, you've been going. Maybe a lot of hard work. Now, for a lot of you guys, maybe you have been in a place of downtime, and it's vice versa, where now you're about to be thrusted into a lot of hard work and focused and building for the future and manifesting longevity, right? But for most of you guys, maybe you're coming into a place of rest, especially with your perspective, because this is a Swords card, so it's talking about you resting your mind. If you have been overthinking, overusing your logical mind, you're about to give it a rest, because this intuitive hunch is coming in, it's coming aboard. And you're like, okay, wow, you know what? Like, 1 + 1 does equal 2 to my logical mind, but to my intuitive mind, it's like 1 + 1 = 1. And I see two sides, right, of the coin. Like you're seeing from more than one perspective, and this is giving your logical mind just to rest a little bit, because now you're teaming up with your intuitive mind. And I feel like this is the shift that's taking place, this new cycle of thinking and awareness and perception. Yeah, that's what I see, Gemini. So let's keep it moving. Future energy, we have the Two of Swords, the High Priestess, the Nine of Wands, and then the Four of Cups. All right, so Two of Swords energy clarified by the Justice card. Two of Swords is kind of like that indecisiveness that I believe maybe you were at for a moment in time about which way to go, what decision do I choose, or having kind of like a double mind of being sure about something but then being unsure about it and going back and forth on a certain decision. But Justice is coming in, bringing balance. So this is you balancing out your approach to life, or balancing out your mind, kind of putting it into the double-mindedness. You see how the swords are going away from each other and they're pointing in two different directions, but then right here in the middle comes the Justice, bringing you back to a certain equilibrium, bringing you back to your middle, your groundedness. And I feel like you're kind of having a grounded energy coming in with this Justice card, Major Arcana. that is grounding you and bringing you back to your center point. And that is because of this intuitive part of yourself just kind of coming alive, coming online. One sec. Okay, then we have the High Priestess again, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. So, like I was saying, with some of you Geminis, there's a place you're at where you are able to see some things that other people are not seeing, where it's kind of like going over their head because they're only looking at certain problems and issues logically, but you're tapping in intuitively, and this is creating some type of abundance financially, materially for you. Some opportunities are coming to you where maybe you're able to double your funds, double the amount of opportunities that are coming in, right? Multiplying what it is that you earn because you have this kind of like edge on other people, especially for you people that are kind of like dealing with intuitive more careers like sales or maybe stocks, or maybe dealing with people, something where you kind of like need to have this intuitive touch and not only be logical, that you're using along with your very logical mind, because Geminis are air signs, so you guys are the thinkers, very quick-witted, very quick thinking, right? But when you match this with your intuitive or heart space, or solar plexus, right, that gut feeling, then you're kind of a machine that can't be stopped, is what I'm picking up. And you're attracting this Ace of Pentacles, this upgrade in material wealth, because this new vision has come in. And I like that. Nine of Wands here, clarified by the Six of Pentacles. So Nine of Wands is talking about having to endure a certain cycle that maybe you guys have been in, where you earned your stripes, you did the work, you fought the battles, you're still here to fight another battle, but you're known maybe in what it is that you do as maybe a veteran, or you're known as somebody who, doesn't take any shit at the end of the day, right? Or just a survivor, right? You have been through and survived through a lot of maybe challenging times. But then you have the Six of Pentacles here, so this could be talking about some type of equal give and take that's coming in because of this, or a new level of receiving that's coming in because you've been kind of fighting for it a little bit. Six of Pentacles can be talking about a connection too that comes in, where somebody wants to kind of like give into you and they want to receive the same way, a type of reciprocity, reciprocal type of connection that could be coming in, that you're attracting in. But this could be something possibly from the past or something to kind of like be a repaying from something that happened in the past, because you do have this Justice card that's here, that's bringing you out of an indecision or something that kind of, let's say, paused in the past, and now you're being repaid for it with the Six of Pentacles here. So this talks about being in a place of receiving, maybe from something that you have already given into, if this has to do with a connection. All right, but Gemini, this is mostly having to do with you and your life, to be honest. So this could be talking about you upgrading into a place where the amount of work or energy that you put into something, you actually receive that same energy back. Where maybe before you were working, but not really seeing any abundance coming through. But now the abundance is here because you've already, like I said, paid the dues and done the work. And so, yeah, you're seeing some things open up and come online, especially because the shift that's happening, that's bringing you into a place where you can just rest a little bit. Like, take a chill pill. You've already done the hard stuff. Now, we ended with the Four of Cups clarified with the Fool card. So, Four of Cups usually talks about being in a place where you're kind of apathetic a little bit. It's boredom, you know, maybe you were working, and it maybe got to the place of being very easy. And you're just like, oh, okay, this again, and it's just routine, right? But with the Fool being here, this is almost like an opportunity to take a leap into something brand new, or to see what you're doing as something brand new through another lens. Maybe there's a new opportunity in the same field that you're at for work, and it's opening up to you, or you're seeing it through the lens of intuition, right? I think you're starting to see another side of what it is that you're doing. Like, wait a minute, I've been doing this for years or months or however long, and I didn't know that I could include this into this type of work, or I could open up this whole nother type of world with what it is that I'm doing. And maybe you were not seeing it before, even though it was always in front of your face. But that is because I feel like you were only looking at it logically from a mental type of point of view. But now when you combine this with your intuition, this whole new world opens up. The Fool card, brand new beginning, a new opportunity for you to jump into. Wheel of Fortune, brand new opportunity, right? Coming in. So, yeah, Gemini, this is what I'm picking up. Let's see what your fairy card is. Queen of Autumn, generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed, the ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. So yeah, practicality here, right? Ingenuity, resourcefulness. This is a combination of a lot of different energy. Generous, stylish, gracious, practical at the same time. So this is kind of picking up on this energy that I was speaking of. And this almost, to me, feels very similar to this High Priestess. Even though it's the Queen of Autumn, who is more likely, and I'm not used to this deck, but it's kind of more likely to the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like there's a great connection with the High Priestess and the Queen of Autumn for your reading, because it's grounded energy, right? It's generous, stylish, it's gracious, it's practical. But this is opening up abundance, right? You see how abundant she is living? This is what I was talking about with the Eight of Pentacles going into the 10. Coming into a place where you're like, oh, it's time to level up. Let's boss up, right? But you're definitely practical about it because you've been doing it for a while. Like I said, Nine of Wands. You've been here working, and now you're about to see the real payoff for it. All right, Gemini, so I'm going to end it right there. Hopefully that resonated with you guys. If it did, like, share, subscribe, comment on the channel. And I will be back mid-month with a whole nother reading for you guys. You guys may be in the front of the line just to make up for the lateness, right? Yeah, that's everything. All right, later.